Hello and welcome back to the All About Death Knight series. I'm EvlKray the DK and we're tanking Heroic Stonecore. I'm going to assume that you know all the normal versions of these fights, and if you do not, go check out Poggy's video at worldofwarcraft.tgn.tv, sign up on the forums, and let's get started. So the first boss you'll encounter is Corvus. He is a snake rock-like boss, and he's got new changed abilities in the Heroic version. Obviously, being that it's Heroic, it should be a little bit harder, but the Crystal Barrage that you would find in the normal version, it does the same amount of damage, but this time it spawns adds. You do not need to be near these adds because they will kill you. And the second thing that we can notice is Dampening Wave now absorbs 15,000 healing up from 4,000. This needs to be dispelled away from the tank as soon as possible. It only lasts 6 seconds, so you don't have to dispel it off of the DPS, but it's highly recommended. And the third thing, it's burrowing. While burrowed, the boss jumps from place to place. Obviously, you can tell that from the dust clouds. If you stand in the pathway, you will die. There is no saving you, you will die. So the best strategy to do is, in phase 1, make sure everyone stays spread out as much as possible within healing range. Whenever the boss turns around to spit the Crystal Barrage on you, move away as soon as possible. Try to take as less damage. If you have an AoE ability, as long as you're ranged, just start spamming on it as soon as they start spitting, and you will have no problems with the adds. The second phase, probably the most difficult and what gives people a lot of trouble and a lot of wipes, is when he's burrowing. People like to stand in dust clouds. Let me give you an awareness here. If you stand in bad things will happen. So take the adds to the tank and stay away from the dust clouds. That concludes that fight. Have fun and good luck. Alright, and after you clear a few trash packs, you come to Slabhide. He does the same thing as he does in regular, except he has one new ability that will kill you if you do not move. That's called Crystal Storm. When he lands from his air phase, he will do a Fan of Knives type AoE spell that deals 10k damage every half second to all party members, and it lasts 6 seconds. So to counter this, when he does Crystal Storm, use the stalactites to LOS the channel. But when you're melee at DPS, there is a current bug that there might be one close to him, but make sure you get out of his hitbox further. Go to try to find a further one to hide from. You will see me take a little bit of damage, and I believe someone dies in this video footage. Other than that, stay out of fire. Don't stand in front of him, and don't stand in the black spots when he goes into air phase 2. That concludes this fight, and so we'll move on to the next one. Now we're at the third boss, Osric. He is my favorite boss, mainly because instead of hitting a key and then crossing your eyes as a tank, you actually get to do something. So let's discuss the changed abilities and one new one. The new ability is called Paralyze. It stuns the entire group for 8 seconds and deals 50k damage if it lasts the entire duration. It will be removed if you take damage. He will throw up a shield called Elementium Bulwark. If you put a dot on him and healers just hit him with any kind of dot you have, it will dispel the paralyzation and you can move away from that. He does shatter, which is the same as regular, except it does 150k in heroic. It will one-shot a tank to everyone and everything within the radius of the shatter. He does ground slam, and that is increased by 500k from regular. And it does a 30-degree cone in front of him. So the best strategy to do is, if you're tanking, and it really only matters if you're tanking, tank him to the wall, and then when he does his go to crest his ground slam, just run through him, get on the back, keep DPSing, then run back on him, get paralyzed, then run straight out, and then come back and just rinse and repeat. And that boss is dead, and you get loot. So we'll see you at the 4th boss. Alright, we're at the 4th boss, High Priestess Azil. You will see me pull all 3 ads. You do not have to do that if you don't have the gear, but we was getting the achievement, which the achievement is to kill 60 of the ads while the boss is engaged. And I'll actually go ahead and explain how we did that. I just went in there and D&D'd on top of the ads, had the hunter misdirect to me, and then AoE'd the ads down. That's why you see a little bit of lag there. You can do it a number of ways. Just taunt the boss after you put down your consecration, or just go in there and do what we did. Just have a DPS tank the boss for a few seconds. So let's get on to the new changed abilities. She will have a force grip. This will kill the tank, and it needs to be interrupted. You will see where it picks me up in the air and then it drops me real quick. Well, what happens if you don't interrupt it? It will pick you up in the air and just suck the life out of you, kind of like asphyxiation in Heroic Shadowfang Keep. She'll also do Curse of Blood, and now it makes the target take 5,000 increased physical damage up from 1,000. The best strategy to use is, in the ground phase, just do the same thing that you did in regular and avoid the void zones. Get on the other side of the void zones to pull the ads into them, interrupt the force grip, and that's pretty much it for phase 1. When he goes into phase 2, the rocks will one-shot you if you stand there. So just move out of the way, obvious. Use the gravity wells to your advantage. Stand on the other side when the ads come in. They will come to probably the healer, because he will have a healing aggro, and they will kill him for you. And if you don't happen to have competent people who do that, just go pick them up and then run them into there. You'll see me jump in there sometimes. And that concludes Heroic Stonecore. I thank you for watching. I ask that you rate, comment, subscribe, and go check out worldofwarcraft.tgn.tv. It's an awesome forum. I think we're going to make it pretty good. I appreciate you guys for watching.